Imagine living in constant fear, wondering if your loved ones will return home safely. This is the reality for many Americans today. Every day, Americans and legal residents are increasingly feeling the weight of an unsettling reality. Their country, once a beacon of safety and opportunity, is becoming a battleground against crime brought by illegal immigrants. From violent assaults to fatal DUIs, illegal immigration is not just an abstract policy issue. It's a very real, daily threat for ordinary citizens across the nation. The stories of innocent lives lost, families shattered, futures stolen, are hard to ignore. Laken Riley, Pierce Corcoran, and others like them were simply living their lives when their worlds were violently turned upside down. And for every name we know, there are many more whose stories never make headlines, lost in the chaos of media narratives that deflect blame or minimize the problem. A surge in violent crimes. The numbers don't lie. Crime rates related to illegal immigration are rising. Whether it's gang violence, drug trafficking, or violent assaults, illegal immigrants are contributing to the increase in crime. In recent years, the rise in opioid-related deaths has been directly tied to drug smuggling at the southern border. Cartels exploit the chaos, using illegal immigrants as pawns in their larger schemes, bringing violence into once peaceful towns. Media silence and political apathy. Despite the growing body count, much of the media refuses to give these stories the attention they deserve. Instead, they peddle the narrative that crime rates among illegal immigrants are no worse than those of native-born Americans. This blatant denial of reality only fuels the public's distrust in the media and government. People see the disconnect between what they're being told and what they're experiencing in their own communities. It's not just frustrating, it's enraging. And it needs to stop. Every year, an estimated 2,000 Americans are killed by illegal aliens. In 2023, Breitbart News reported on a surge of cases in which illegal aliens are accused of killing American citizens, as well as legal immigrants, many including young children. Say their names. Laken Riley, Georgia, 2022. After an attempted rape, Laken was brutally murdered by 5 illegal immigrants after a planned robbery went horribly wrong. Her life was senselessly taken, and her family left devastated. Sarah Root, Omaha, 2016. Sarah was celebrating her graduation when she was killed by Eswin Mejia, an illegal immigrant driving drunk at high speeds. Despite Sarah's horrific death, Mejia fled after being released on bail, avoiding justice to this day. Grant Ronbeck, Arizona, 2015. Grant was working at a convenience store when Apollinar Altamirano, an illegal immigrant with a criminal record and out on bond, shot him in the face over a pack of cigarettes. Grant's murder exposed the revolving door of immigration enforcement failures. A 35-year-old illegal alien, Hermanio Joseph of Haiti, was driving a Honda Odyssey minivan when he hit a Northwestern local schools bus that was full of children in Clark County, Ohio. As a result of the crash, the bus flipped, and 11-year-old Aiden Clark was ejected. That day marked the first day of school for Aiden. Kate Steinle, San Francisco, 2015. Kate was shot and killed while walking with her father on a pier by an illegal immigrant with multiple deportations and a criminal record. Her tragic death became a symbol of the sanctuary city debate. Drew Rosenberg, California, 2010. A law student and advocate for immigration reform, Drew was run over repeatedly by an illegal immigrant who had been in the U.S. despite his expired visa. The immigrant's reckless driving and Drew's senseless death spurred his father to advocate for policy changes. Adriana Coronado, Texas, 2016. This 12-year-old girl was abducted, raped, and strangled by a group of illegal immigrants after witnessing her father's murder. Her short life ended in unimaginable terror, and her killers were only caught because of a statewide manhunt. Jocelyn Nungaray, Texas, 2020. Jocelyn, a young teen, was murdered by an illegal immigrant who had entered the country illegally multiple times. The man was part of a human trafficking operation. Jocelyn's death was part of the disturbing trend of cartel-related violence spilling over into American communities. Corey Cottrell, Illinois, 2019. Corey, a loving father, was struck and killed by an illegal immigrant driving without a license who fled the scene. He had crossed multiple times after being deported. Pierce Corcoran, Tennessee, 2018. Pierce, a 22-year-old aspiring personal trainer, was killed when an illegal immigrant driving without a license crossed the median and crashed head-on into his car. These are only a few of the names we should never forget. All these victims tragically lost their lives because of failures by administrations and at the border. Every day, the sense of safety in American communities is eroding, replaced by a growing atmosphere of fear and uncertainty about who will be next. Illegal immigration is not just a policy issue, it's a serious, daily threat for ordinary American citizens across the nation. Families are left shattered, futures stolen, as the stories of innocent lives lost continue to mount, and it is all so unnecessary. Millions of undocumented migrants are crossing the border, many slipping through the cracks of a weak and underfunded immigration enforcement system. Even those with criminal records are often released into the U.S. with little or no oversight, creating a ripple effect of fear. Over 600,000 illegal migrants with criminal records have been released into the U.S. They are reportedly being monitored, a slow burn crisis happening in real time. Crime rates related to illegal immigration are rising, from gang violence and drug trafficking to violent assaults. The rise in opioid-related deaths has been directly tied to drug smuggling at the southern border, bringing violence into once peaceful towns. The violence isn't just reserved for border cities, it's spreading inland, affecting states like New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Nebraska, and California. Property crimes are up too, with car theft, home invasions, and robberies becoming more common in areas with high numbers of illegal immigrants. Despite the growing body count, much of the media refuses to give these stories the attention they deserve. Political leaders often minimize the problem, focusing on the potential economic contributions of illegal immigrants. Americans feel forgotten, watching as their government prioritizes the well-being of those who entered the country unlawfully. These preventable deaths are stark reminders that stronger enforcement of immigration laws is critical to saving lives. Americans are rightfully worried about what comes next. The collapse of the southern border, combined with the rise of crime, homelessness, drug addiction, and the deteriorating economy, makes for a bleak outlook. The dollar's decline, coupled with endless wars overseas, only adds to the feeling that the government is focusing on the wrong priorities. As the U.S. continues its downward spiral, the question is no longer whether Americans are safe, it's how long they'll be able to endure. How long can communities bear the brunt of crimes that should have been stopped at the border? How long can the government turn a blind eye to the suffering of its own citizens? The names of the victims, those who died at the hands of illegal immigrants, should be etched in the nation's memory. It's time to stop ignoring the reality of what's happening and start holding the system accountable. Say their names. Because if we don't, who will? Remember their stories, pray for their loved ones, and demand change.